Hi guys, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Mike.
This is a Disney for Couples podcast where we talk about traveling to Disney World, going on Disney cruises, living the Disney life, but just for adults because Disney is no place for kids.
They didn't even let kids in at Port Orleans. I noticed.
That's why we stayed there. They let dogs in.
I know. Gotta love a pooch.
That's on my list of things to mention.
Right.
So, good segue. We just got back from vacation. Like literally just got back last night.
Yep.
I just texted my friend Kara, who lives in Florida, and I said to her, because I visited with her a couple of times when we were down there, and I said, we have no food in the house because we haven't gone food shopping yet, and one of the only things I have to snack on are the crackers she sent me home with.
Oh.
Because she had gotten gluten.
Simply Mill.
She had gotten gluten-free crackers for me to snack on when I was there, and she was like, "Take them with you. You can have them." And they came all the way home with us on the plane.
And
it's
now
like
it's our only sustenance.
It's like that and like a bag of popcorn that I have until we go grocery shopping tomorrow.
Yeah, but we got half and half.
We have half and half for the coffee. We have the essentials. We have half and half and M&Ms.
And Cheez-Its.
And we have some Cheez-Its.
Yay.
Yeah, we don't have any. We're still like in vacation mode. We don't have any grown-up food in the house yet.
Right.
What did you just say before we started recording? You just said something, and it reminded me of something I wanted to mention. Remember?
No, my brain doesn't operate.
Maybe it'll come back to me because I was
way.
going to tell the people listening. Well, that was informative.
I'll let you know if it comes to me.
Okay. So we just got back, and we thought we would do a hotel review.
Yeah.
Yeah. So together, we had never stayed at Port Orleans before. I had stayed there one time with my mom when it might have been the trip when I had just graduated high school. It might have been a little later, but either way, it was like 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you had never stayed there before, right?
No, I paid a visit, but I never stayed.
Right, because you went to French Quarter.
French Quarter.
I didn't remember which side my mom and I stayed on. I thought maybe we would have stayed on the French Quarter side because it's like it seems like a little more youthful and fun. Mm-hmm. So the whole time you and I were there, I was like trying to pick out things that would like jog my memory about where we stayed. I couldn't figure it out, especially because the only thing I remembered was the food court, and the food courts look almost exactly the same. Like not the decor, but the layout. But I'm pretty sure my mom like racked her brain to come up with some details, and I'm pretty sure that Riverside is where I had stayed before.
And I comparing the two, I actually like the aesthetic of Riverside more.
Do you really? Yeah, I like French Quarter a little more. I'd like to stay there, although we did really like Riverside. When I was younger and my mom and I stayed on just a mom and daughter trip, we liked it. I remember we thought it was pretty. It's a Disney resort, so you get all the stuff you get with a Disney resort, so that's always enjoyable. But we had, as a family growing up, had almost always stayed at either the Caribbean Beach or the Coronado, which both feel like more vacation-y.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted that, and that's not really what you're getting at Riverside. It's like, it's more backwoods. Like that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe for a teenager or young 20-something who had been used to staying at like a beachier place, it wasn't as exciting.
With like a lot of energy.
Yeah, but this time you and I really liked it. It was like our vibe. We were walking around like, there's nobody here.
Yes.
It's so quiet.
I really enjoyed that.
So just to give a tiny bit of background, Disney's Port Orleans Resort is a moderate level resort, and it's split into two parts: Riverside, where we stayed, and the French Quarter. The Riverside part is meant to look like rural Louisiana, and it's connected to the French Quarter by the Sassagoula River.
Sassagoula? Something like that.
I don't know.
It's okay.
That. The French Quarter part of the resort is obviously designed after New Orleans' French Quarter, but specifically during Mardi Gras. It's like a Mardi Gras celebration all the time. So these two resorts are sister resorts, kind of like, the 3 all-star resorts or the beach club and the yacht club, which means you can take advantage of everything at both resorts. You're like completely free to go back and forth, but you book them separately, and the prices for the same type of room will even be different. So you don't just book and get placed at one resort or the other. You specifically pick which one you want to be at.
Gotcha.
As we mentioned, Riverside is a pet-friendly resort, and we did see some doggies.
We saw some
walking
doggos
around,
walking
which
around.
was more exciting to us than if we had seen like Mickey.
Yeah.
Although we love Mickey.
Yep.
But the dogs with their little booties
They
to
had
protect
their
their
little
feet
booties on.
were so cute. So I thought we would just go kind of like, one by one and cover the different parts of our stay there.
Right. Let's do it.
Let's start with the room.
All right.
So we stayed in Alligator Bayou, which is designed to look like backwoods cottages. And they did. It was very cute. It wasn't like crummy looking, but that is exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
There's also a section called Magnolia Bend. It's one of the really nice looking sections that we walked by. And they're designed to look like grand mansions, and they have like big white columns, and they're beautiful.
I love that split in cosmetics.
Yeah.
I like seeing the like you had mentioned, the rural sort of backwoods cabin style, and then I think it's the Sasagula that like separated that section from the more mannerly looking buildings, and it was really great the way they styled that.
Yeah, and it's a nice segue because as you're leaving Riverside and like getting into the French Quarter buildings are all very nice looking. So it's kind of like it like eases you in. You leave the very rural area where we were staying, and then you go past the nicer ones in the Riverside, and then you kind of make your way to the really nice looking, colorful buildings in the French Quarter. So it was a nice, it meshed into one another.
For sure.
Well. So describe our room.
It was really nice. So I would say we had, a really nice amount of space. It was styled after, I don't know, it had a sort of working class mill vibe, but like not in some kind of gross way. Like the curtains had like a bit of a forced ragtag appearance that I thought was really cool. A lot of the furniture was styled after like crates and boxes and stuff that you'd put on a cargo ship, and I thought that was great. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of space in the main room. We had a very big bathroom, which was a huge surprise.
Yeah, very big.
Yep. And otherwise just kind of your cozy Disney resort. I would say we're gonna have a lot to say about the room, but compared to like our last stay at the beach club, certainly different. Mm-hmm. But some pros, some cons, that kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah, I like the room. It's an old resort, and you could definitely see the wear and tear in the room.
Beat up.
Which you will see at every resort. We saw it at the beach club. We have friends who stayed at the Polynesian, and they saw it there. So there's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about the design of our hotel room is it's supposed to look rustic.
Yeah.
So like some of it just was practically camouflaged because of that.
Right. Yep.
Totally. Disney does a good job of using its space. We had more than enough storage. Like, yes, there are only 3 drawers, but they're deep. We had an armoire with a lot of space. We had that table and chairs that we used a lot.
Yeah. Yep. That was essential to us.
Yeah. There was even enough space between like the armoire and the wall to store our luggage. So
2 queen size beds.
Yep, 2 queen size beds. And yeah, that bathroom was like surprisingly big.
Yeah.
It was a regular shower and a regular were there 2 sinks or 1 sink?
Can I talk about the bathroom?
We literally were there yesterday and I can't remember. There was 1 sink.
1 sink. Can I talk about the bathroom?
Sure.
Yeah, so I love the amount of space that you get in that bathroom. So I'm going to try to focus on some more positives before I jump ship.
Yeah, there was one weird thing about our bathroom that was a little off-putting.
Yeah, but a lot of space. I liked that the shower had both like a main, overhead part, and then it also had like the second handheld unit that you could use.
Yeah, like a wand that you could disconnect.
Right. And it had the makeup mirror for you, and the one like main mirror that was unfortunately the only main mirror in the whole room.
Yeah, that was weird. There wasn't a full-length mirror in the room anywhere.
Yeah.
There was a half mirror, and that was it. So if you were outside of the bathroom when somebody was in the bathroom getting ready and you wanted to put your hair up or put makeup on, you couldn't do it. And if you wanted to look like what you looked like from head to toe, You couldn't tell.
Right.
That was so strange. I've never seen a hotel room with no full-length mirror.
I found that there wasn't a lot of storage in the bathroom. There was like a column of cubbies for like, but they were small and they were like recessed into the wall.
Yeah, there wasn't like a shelf under the sink like there usually is, and there weren't any drawers.
No cabinets, no drawers.
But we were clever. We used the lip of the mirror to store our very small like toiletries.
Yeah.
There was a lot of counter space.
Yeah, we made it work.
Yeah, it was fine. We didn't feel crowded, but if it was a family of 4 and everybody has their own stuff, it might start to get a little overloaded. But we don't talk about family travel.
Right,
it's just for
families
couples.
don't exist. So the shower curtain, like the main shower curtain, was styled after Princess and the Frog, and it was like a cute little image from the film. I think it was of the
mosquito.
The mosquito. I forget.
Ray?
Okay, yeah.
Right.
It was of that. I think it may have been him looking up at is it Evangeline?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was that shot. So that was like cool to look at. The liner that was in the shower I found to be kind of gross.
I'm sorry. He's a lightning bug. I'm so sorry I called him a mosquito, a disgusting mosquito. He's a beautiful, wonderful lightning bug.
Back to the disgusting liner, though. I just kind of...
The liner was gross?
I noticed a little bit of, like, black spotting on it.
Really? I didn't notice that at all. I like if we're going to talk about the shower liner, I like that Disney does really thick shower liners, because when you do a thin shower liner, it like blows all over and like sticks to you.
That's true.
While you're showering.
So that it had that going for it. So the one main bathroom feature that we thought was so bizarre was the sink in the bathroom. Its drainage was visible. There was like a small, like a plate that would cover like a shower drain,
like a grate.
Yeah. In the floor, like right near the sink, and when you would run the sink, you could watch the water like
you would
drain.
hear it bubbling, and you could watch it. It sounds like it was something that was damaged. It wasn't. That's just how it was. I don't know if like that's just how it's built, or if they were in the middle of repairing something. It was odd.
It was odd, and we had like a bit of a recurring gnat issue in the bathroom, and we think it might be because the drainage was opened up.
It would have never been enough for us to complain. I think I saw one gnat a day, like in the bathroom, and especially in the shower. And I honestly couldn't tell if it was like, we would open the door at night and a mosquito would fly in. It's Florida. Like that happens. You're walking in with your shoes on, like you wouldn't maybe do at home. So they could have come in on us. But by like the third time, I was like, is there like a little problem in here?
Yeah.
But I really think it was like one a day. So what are you going to do? Call maintenance and be like, we have one gnat in here. Like, come and fix it,
Yeah. Lighting was good. We had, like the 2 overhead bed lights. We had, I think, 2 main lights. The bathroom lighting was pretty. Yep, the bathroom and the fan lighting, that was all pretty solid.
The blackout curtains were great, so we could see late.
Extraordinary. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there were days that it was like 11:30 and you'd have no idea.
Yeah,
in the morning.
We had a big TV, and for all of the, we've stayed in a lot of hotels. We've done a lot of traveling, especially back and forth to where Mike is from in Rhode Island, and we've stayed in a million hotels, and the TV is always an issue. Usually you're just stuck flipping around the channels that they have, which are usually crummy.
Can I talk about it?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the different like options, because there was a little more than what you would get with a normal hotel TV, which is how we could watch Hulu.
So Disney's interface that they lock on their TVs is that you can watch regular TV channels that are like under the Disney umbrella and slightly adjacent.
For you kids out there listening, TV used to have channels, real channels that you would flip through, and there'd be commercials and stuff.
There was like I think there was like a parks option that just kind of like went over highlights of Disney World, like stuff going on, that kind of stuff.
My favorite part of traveling to Disney World as a kid was watching that
channel,
that hotel room channel over and over.
And you can correct me if like I'm missing one, but the other main option was the ability to cast, which, so it's cool that Disney, lets you do that. So if you're going to cast, you have to, have a compatible iPhone or Android device, and you have to have movie or TV show apps that are supported by Google Chromecast. And so basically you set that up on your phone and you cast the movie or the show that you're going to watch. And we had a great experience with it. It worked really well.
Yeah.
There are two things that I'm kind of like bothered by when it comes to that. So one is that Disney kind of like locks you out of using your own devices, which I don't like. I remember, I think when we like did...
like Roku, like when we brought the Roku and you can't use it?
I feel like you can, but they make it very complicated. Yeah. They really... Because it's like Disney has the TV, but then they have like a media box that kind of like locks you out of any like external devices that you'd want to use. The other thing that is just, it's small for us, but like Google Chromecast, Google owns YouTube, and YouTube won't work.
Yeah, we couldn't get YouTube to work
on Disney's like interface,
or YouTube can't be Chromecast. I mean, that's the only time we ever Chromecast is like
right
there.
Right, but I mean, like Google owns YouTube. It should just work.
Let me watch the thing.
It should just work.
Yeah. But still, we're spending a lot of time on the TV, but like it was really nice to watch a show because by night 2 or 3, we were just like, at the end of a long day when you come back and your feet hurt and all you want to do is like fall asleep watching TV. We were like, I cannot watch Ghost Hunters on the Travel Channel anymore. Like, how much diners and drive-ins can I watch? I'm starving and the food court's closed. So it was nice to be able to put on like our show. We're on a 90 Day Fiancé kick right now.
Yes, right now we're watching 90 Day Fiancé happily ever after.
But the other thing I like about Disney programming, and it was like this on the cruise too, is that you can always find a channel that plays Mickey cartoons or like Disney cartoons all the time.
So I think it's funny because they call it the Disney classic cartoons. And all it is the Mickey Mouse shorts from 2013 onward, which are not classic.
No, they look like we love them. We've watched them all like twice, but
yeah, we absolutely love them. But it's like, that's not what that is. Just call this the Mickey Mouse Shorts channel.
Also, tell everybody what show we fell in love with, because before we figured out we could Chromecast, or maybe when we were just like kind of trying to get out of the room and threw something on, what did I put on that we're now completely in love with?
Bluey.
Mom. Dad.
Bingo.
Probably doing... You sound like a beetle doing that.
Hello, Pole.
Yeah, we fell in love with Bluey.
Bluey is too good for its own right.
It's the world's cutest show. Oh my God. I can't believe it's taken us this long.
It's like made for, 5-year-olds, but I kept saying like the writing on it was so clever. I feel like they made a show that like if adults are forced to watch it with their kids, like they're gonna have a pretty good time.
It's perfect for Disney. Yeah. Disney hit the jackpot. They hit the jackpot, those creators. And when I went into Kara's house, because I went to Kara's house like the next morning after seeing that, and she has 2 kids. She has 2 like younger kids. And I walked in and like they're complete Disney fanatics and they have Bluey stuff. And I was like, I know what that is now. I watched that last night. I'm in love with it.
Yep.
So you mentioned this a little bit, but the Riverside's been updated with a Princess and the Frog theme. We had very minor touches of that in our room. We had like the headboard of our beds had what looked like frog footprints. Yeah, they were like very minor touches. They were cute. But there are royal guest rooms there, and they're like regal looking and sophisticated, like Princess Tiana. They're really cool. Nice. Yeah, you can see them online. But we also had a little bit of like Steamboat Willie theming. Yeah. Which we really liked.
That. Oh, and we also had, I think, maybe my favorite wall art that I've seen in a Disney resort thus far, which was we had like it was pulled from, I think, the Imagineering archive or something, because I saw the little like footnote at the bottom of it. It was an artistic interpretation of the Blue Bayou restaurant in Disneyland, which is connected to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It looked like concept art
in the New Orleans section.
Yeah.
Isn't that New Orleans section?
Yep, New Orleans Square.
Yeah.
And it just looked like really like painterly concept art. It was so cool.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. That was on your side of the bed. It was right out of my easy view, and I would like every now and then I would catch a glance and I'd be like, I need to like really look at that, and I didn't. So maybe I can find it online.
I thought that it was something from Princess and the Frog, but then I looked at it more closely and I was like, that's like a real looking alligator. That doesn't look like Lewis. And then I was like,
wait,
what?
Lewis is a real alligator.
Oh, I know, honey. I know. I'm saying it for like the people.
Is he a crocodile? Actually,
is
my joke gonna fall flat?
No, he's an alligator.
Are you sure?
The U.S. doesn't have crocodiles.
That can't be true.
It is true.
That can't be true.
It is true.
Where are there crocodiles?
Not the U.S.
Okay.
We're moving on now.
Okay.
Talk about the food or something.
Hang on. I'm looking up where do crocodiles live.
Oh, this is good.
My Google is where. Look how I'm like a child. They need a Bluey episode for me where we learn how to Google appropriately.
We need a Bluey episode for you where you learn to distance yourself from the phone.
Wait, it says they are found in... Okay, the American crocodile is actually in Florida.
I don't buy it.
Why did
I
you
don't buy
think
it.
that?
I don't think there are
the
crocodiles
American crocodile
in the US.
found in South Florida's Everglades, Mexico, Central South America, and the Caribbean.
I don't think so.
I mean, Google AI has never been wrong.
Google AI is always right.
Okay, well, we have a correction corner later on. So
Yes.
later in another episode, we might have to correct this if
Yes.
Mike has convinced you that there are no crocodiles in the U.S. We'll see.
There are no bears in Florida, though.
I don't know if that's true either.
I don't know either.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. Location. So, like we mentioned, we stayed in Alligator Bayou.
Right.
And it was far. It was far from we were like as far as you can get. So one of the things about certain Disney resorts, now it doesn't really matter if it's like a deluxe resort or a moderate resort or whatever. Sometimes you're very far from the lobby, and it can be kind of a pain. Like when you get up in the morning and you just want to go get a cup of coffee, you have to like, you know, when we stayed at the beach club, the lobby was like downstairs from our room. It was downstairs from all the rooms. So it was very easy to like throw yourself together, go down, and you're back up in your room in 5 minutes.
Because a resort like the beach club, it's one building.
Right. It's mainly one building. Yeah. So it is one building, actually. The beach and the yacht club are all one building.
But Port Orleans is like 20 or something.
Yeah, this was a little bit difficult. I don't really know how much closer... I don't know how close the closest people to the lobby were, like to the lobby, which is also where the cafeteria is and stuff. We were far. It was a little difficult because it's hot. So, you know, you're just like, I just want to go get breakfast and then come back to the room and get ready for the day. And you're like, by the time you get to the cafeteria, you're hot.
Drenched.
And like,
yeah.
But that was really our only complaint. We got lucky. We stayed on the first floor and we had a car there with us this time.
And we had a nice quiet family above us. They'd like come in and like skitter scatter to bed.
I didn't even notice there were anybody.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear anything. But we liked our room because we were on the corner, so we didn't have people on bordering us everywhere, which we like for noise. But we also had our car, and we were like, you walked out our door, and we were like at the parking lot, so it was really easy to get in and out.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean anything about where you're gonna stay. Just know that it is a big resort. So if walking is an issue, either stay somewhere else or like call and ask them if you can be closer to the lobby. It seemed to be the same over in the French Quarter.
Or use bell service.
Will they do that though? Will they transport you
from your room?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but if you're checking in,
when you're checking in and checking out, they can help you. Yeah. Our buddy works bell services there. Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Happy.
Okay. So we already talked about the Sassagoula River, how it runs down like long down the center of the whole resort. And
there's a vessel that runs on the Sassagoula that we wanted to take advantage of, but then we're like, this is a waste of time.
Yeah, so let's get into like the resort itself now. Like we'll start with the outside. So it's when I was walking around, I kind of said what I always say at Animal Kingdom, which is like, you can lose sight of the fact that this is all landscaped. It looks so natural, the greenery. There are so many different plants, and I always have to remind myself, like, they did this. They didn't just build this somewhere where this all
100%.
existed.
They perfectly constructed like a swamp adjacent environment.
But beautifully. It's beautiful. It's very peaceful. It was very quiet.
Yep.
I don't know if that's because, I mean, there were plenty of kids. It just wasn't a loud resort. You know, when we went, like,
we were right near the pool too.
Well, we were near our little pool. We were near but the main pool though is on its own island, which I'll talk about in a little bit. That might be helpful for noise pollution because you're just like all in one area. It was just so peaceful all the time.
Yes.
We thought.
I thought so too.
So let's talk about, well, I just mentioned it, so we'll talk about the recreation area. So to get to the like main hub of recreation outside, you cross a bridge. So there's no resort. There are no buildings that are like right there. You cross a bridge. It's called Old Man Island, which, and the whole area is inspired by the Tom Sawyer stories. The pool there is designed to look like an old-fashioned swimming hole. There are flumes above that drop water down onto you, and there's a slide with like a sawmill theme. Right nearby, there's a catch and release fishing area that is so peaceful. I walked over there one morning when you slept late, and it was just like, there were people there, and it was so quiet. There's a pool bar called Muddy Rivers. There's a hot tub, and there is a space for campfires in the evening where people roast marshmallows.
Awesome.
So tell us all about the transportation.
So, correct me. Is it the friendship boat? Is that what it's called?
I think it's called a friendship boat. Yeah. So the Port Orleans is in the Disney Springs section.
Sure.
Of resorts.
So there's a vessel called the Friendship Boat that runs on that Sassagoula River, and there's a dock that, you know, you're able to go down, get on the boat, and it will take you to Disney Springs.
Or the French Quarter.
Or the French Quarter. We tried to do that one day and kind of had a disappointing experience because we waited in line, and it wasn't a very long line. We were in that not very long line for about 25-30 minutes, you know, killing time, talking. It was a nice day.
It was a hot day.
It was hot. And I remember the boat docked, and then maybe only half of the people that were in the line in front of us got on the boat. And then you and I were just like, what the heck? Like, we're going to have to wait like another half an hour.
Boat, yeah. Sometimes, like on the day we left, I saw that there were two boats, one in back of each other. So it's probably moves quicker. But yeah, the boats are going to the two sections of the resort and Disney Springs. So it doesn't mean it's always showing up empty.
And we were trying to go to Port Orleans. Excuse me. Yeah, we were saying there. We were trying to go to the French Quarter, and we ended up just saying like, oh, screw this. Like, we're just going to walk. And it took us less than 10 minutes to walk over there.
It was a nice walk. Yeah.
But, you know, all to say, if you're really leaning on that, I wouldn't. It's a nice frill, but I wouldn't personally recommend like relying on that transportation.
Totally,
especially if you have like a dinner reservation. No way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. We're going to do another episode, maybe even our next episode, that compares the deluxe, moderate, and budget resorts, because we've stated all of the tiers now. One of the things that I like the most in a Disney resort is when you have alternative transportation options. Even when we have our car with us, we often have a rental or our car on a trip, but we don't always like to use it. That's really for the convenience of getting back and forth from the airport. So when we're able to use transportation that's not Disney buses, because Disney buses, the bus stop can be far from you. When you're staying at the less costly resorts, the buses really can run very sporadically. We really avoid buses if we can.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have an alternative. This is not a resort where you had the Skyliner, or of course not the monorail. I was really happy to have at least the Disney Springs boat because
we were very excited about that.
We love Disney Springs so much, and we didn't use it once because it was such a problem when we tried to go that day to French Quarter. It was
a letdown, and that was a Sunday afternoon at like 12:30 p.m. I don't consider that to be like a high traffic time. I wouldn't necessarily think, and
you wouldn't think most people were at the resort. You'd think most people were in the park.
In the parks or something. It was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, but like not a big deal, but not a big deal because we had a car. Maybe a bigger deal if we had to hop on a bus. But anyway, that was just our one-time experience. We didn't give it another chance. So who knows? Maybe other people had maybe that was a fluke that there was only one boat running. So
mayhaps.
Maybe I'm trying to make up for it, but I have no idea.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about
food.
Nope, not yet. Let's talk about the common indoor areas, but not let's not get into the food yet because that's a whole other section. So when you walk up to the main hub, there's a big wheel. What is that? A mill? What is that supposed to look like?
You mean the exterior?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a mill building, and it's like a hydraulic wheel that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really nice looking.
Yeah.
It's a really nice setting. And that's where everything is. That's where there's a lobby, and then there's a waiting area outside the lobby. That's where all the eateries are, the arcade.
Mm-hmm. Gym.
I think there's no gym on property. I think there's laundry there. There might be laundry right there, but we had laundry right. There's a lot of laundry. Laundry on Disney property is such a treat. Mm-hmm. Here's why. Really quick side note. There are more than enough machines because there's so many different places to do laundry, and they're usually pretty convenient to where you are. It's very clean. The machines and the building are very clean. You can pay for detergent and whatever you need with a credit card, and you just scan a code on the washer and dryer, and you pay like that. You just pay on your phone, and then you can see when your stuff is done on your phone.
Yep.
It's just the most convenient. I mean, as a person who did laundry at a laundromat for a decade, it's the most convenient laundry situation I've ever had. And the machines work really well.
They're very
not
good machines.
Crummy.
No. They're powerful.
Yeah. So anyway, so that main building has all of that stuff. So let's just walk through it. You walk up on the side with the wheel, you enter through the cafeteria, and then you walk down the main hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're at the restaurant.
The lounge or whatever.
Yep. And then you pass the bar, and then you're in that hub area where there's
check-in.
Yeah, there's the waiting area with bell services kind of right outside, and then there's the actual lobby, which is very pretty.
Yep.
And the gift shop.
Yes.
So we loved that gift shop.
It's a nice big gift shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just quickly explain what the gift shop is like.
Okay.
Because all the Disney gift shops are ever so slightly different.
Right.
This one was actually nice to have a big gift shop.
Yeah.
Because Beach Club had a tiny gift shop. Teeny tiny. It was half the gift shop and half the cafeteria. Now they do that because at the deluxe resorts, you have more food choices. So the cafeterias are generally smaller.
Sure.
But this gift shop was really nice. Everything in the common area is somewhere between rustic and rustic sophisticated. So there's a lot of warm colors. There's a lot of green. It's very pretty.
Yes.
All the features are cool. The floor is cool. It's a Disney hotel. So everywhere you look, it's themed.
Right.
The gift shop we liked it. We were in there a handful of times. It was quite nice. It has what every Disney gift shop has, which is a section for food and maybe stuff you would have forgotten to pack or things you need for your room, like mouthwash or whatever. And then they have a section with treats, and then there's a cold, cold drinks. There's usually all kinds of Disney souvenirs, the same stuff that you would find at the World of Disney or the Emporium. There's usually a section of toys for kids. And then there's always a section in every Disney resort gift shop where they have the merch just for that resort.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want something specific to that resort, that's like the only place to get it. So that's always the best part of going into the gift shops for us is seeing like the really, really
stuff.
themed. And there's usually a lot. There's like here, there was food because of there was like coffee that was themed to New Orleans, and there was like the beignet mix, but there were also...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say,
no,
they're like the Cajun spices I saw.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's cute.
Yep.
Yeah, but then there's also like spirit jerseys and ears and bags and pins and mugs and like all of the stuff that you could get, but themed. So we always like to get something from the resorts we stay at as like a little reminder when we're home.
Right. I should also say that if you're the World of Disney is a fantastic store to find a lot of that same stuff at, but it's also a high traffic store in a very high traffic area of Disney Springs. So if you're, kind of put off by a ton of people, you can get a lot of stuff that you'd find at World of Disney at your resort's gift shop.
Yeah. And also, even though we kind of dissuaded you from taking the boat, if all you want to do is go to World of Disney from Port Orleans, take the boat because figure it out. Like get on, like wait or whatever, because the boat docks like right behind World of Disney. And that's not the most convenient spot to get to because most of the time, most people park in orange parking, which is far from, there's a parking lot right there, but it's not like as commonly used. Mm-hmm. So if we were going to say one night, like we just want to go to World of Disney, maybe we would have hopped back on the boat.
Maybe.
For the convenience.
Just maybe.
Okay. Food. All right, I'm going to quiz you.
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to talk about each one.
Okay.
Do you know the exact name of the cafeteria?
The Riverside Mill Food Court.
Very good. I don't even know if I knew that when we were there.
I had to look it up one day and it just locked in.
I was there yesterday. We were there for 2 hours waiting to leave for our flight.
Yep.
Okay. So so I'm going to quiz you as we go and I'll explain what each one is.
Cool.
It's the food court. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's open till 11. This is where you get your refillable mugs, which we always suggest.
Yep.
You get your coffee, your drinks. You can get grab and go stuff. You can mobile order. You can walk up to a counter and order. It's your hub of eating if you're eating at the resort.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought the food was fine. It was not my favorite food. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever loved any of the Disney. Actually, surprisingly, I really liked the All-Star food.
That's what I was thinking.
I really liked. I had like one of the best Disney dinners I've ever had there. I had like a steak thing, and I was shocked at how good it was. It was like brisket or something.
I think that the Port Orleans cafeteria style food was as good to me as it was because it reminded me of what you can get at All Stars, because that's that's the only thing All Stars has to offer you is a big cafeteria.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, really decent options.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm sorry, Caitlin, if you're listening to this, Caitlin and Kyle, who are friends who live in Louisiana, but I'm just not big into like those flavors. I don't like gumbo. I don't like jambalaya.
The jambalaya was very good.
It was or wasn't?
Was.
Yeah, like I had it and because I shared it with you and like I ate it, but I just don't like it. I don't like those flavors. So this just wasn't. I had a little bit of a hard time figuring out what to eat. Mm-hmm. Even the sandwiches, I just didn't think. But whatever. You liked it. There's also like burgers and fries and stuff like that, which I just wasn't into.
Burgers, fries, pizza. They had salmon. They had like lemon zested chicken.
Yeah, actually, my salmon was very good.
Yeah, you love that.
And I had that chicken 2 days in a row. I had the gluten-free chicken strips, which I was shocked at how good those gluten-free anything is hard to make good.
But you can also get like chicken parm, macaroni and meatballs. They had a full bakery section, so you will not be lost. Like you won't have any struggle for options.
Yeah, I'm just a little picky in it, like when it comes to certain
her
things.
Mom has spoiled.
I don't like Italian
when it comes to food.
Yeah. Okay. What was the name of the bar?
I have no idea.
Where the music was?
Don't know.
No idea. You don't even want to think about it for a second and guess.
Nope.
It's like so easy.
The Riverside Bar.
No, but you're like so close. You got the river.
The Riverside Lounge.
No.
The River Lounge?
River something.
The Princess and the Lounge? I have no idea. Just tell me.
The Lounge and the Frog?
Ah.
I
literally thought I was like, okay.
River Roost.
Okay.
So this is just like right off of the waiting area by the lobby. I think we were going to go there one night. It was too busy for us to get a table. We actually just kind of like stood outside because it's open. Like it's open. So you can see you can see the music. There were just people standing there when there was an entertainer that night.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you just like go in and sit and then they come over and like take your order. There are some couches, there are loungy areas, there's a bar, there's regular tables and chairs. It's open in the evening. They serve Southern style cocktails and like snacky food. And there is often live music by Yeehaw Bob Jackson.
Yeah, he was a celebrity at that resort.
Very high energy. It was like it wasn't super our style. We kind of like stood there and watched for a little bit because we said we couldn't get a table. How would you describe it? Like kooky?
A kooky, goofy,
fun.
like sing-along dinner show where he just wants you all to have fun. And the lounge is like 50 people strong and everybody was singing along and goofing off and
people loved it.
Oh yeah. I can totally understand why that would be a big draw.
Yeah, and every YouTube video we watched, because we watched a handful of YouTube videos about the resort after we booked it, because we really didn't know what to expect. We like booked it because it was the
deal
one that fit into our budget.
Right.
Yeah, and everyone mentioned this guy.
Yeah,
so people love him.
He killed it.
We would have had fun if we sat down. It might not be the kind of thing we like seek out, but it's at your resort, so
yeah,
totally fine. What's the pool bar name? I already mentioned it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The pool bar name. I have no idea.
Muddy Rivers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there's a pool bar. And there is like a restaurant. Do you remember the name of the restaurant?
Nope.
No, not at all?
Not at all.
Boat Rates Dining Hall.
I would have never guessed that.
So this place, I don't know if it has a bad reputation. I don't know. I like never saw anybody in there. I think I saw like 2 people in there one night when we came back. It might have been our timing.
I don't even know where it is. Like where, like you're in the lobby and then like, where is it?
On our last full day there when I was taking pictures with my good camera,
yeah.
I like walked into that restaurant and walked up and was taking pictures of the stuff on the wall.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's open for dinner.
It looks cool.
I never saw anybody there, but as I think about it, dinner time is when we were always in the park.
Sure.
So maybe that was it.
Sure. Yeah, it looked cool.
The food
I
looked
love
good.
the style.
Yeah. It's not a buffet. I thought it was a buffet. You order a la carte, but there's an all you can, they call it all you care to enjoy. It's like an all you can eat platter with several of the restaurant's dishes included. It reminds me of the restaurant I always forget the name of.
Crystal Palace?
No, in Magic Kingdom, where you all get like the things.
Liberty Tree.
Yes.
Yep.
You all get the dinner and then like whatever parts of it you want more of, you can order more. So you don't go up and serve yourself, but they'll just replenish it as much as you want. However, the best part of staying at either Port Orleans resort is the beignets.
Oh, yes.
I don't like fried dough. I could not care less about fried dough.
I do. I'm Portuguese. I love it.
Is that a Portuguese thing?
Malasadas. Yep.
Really?
That's like what they call fried dough.
Oh,
yep.
I didn't know.
My people.
I couldn't care less about it. I just never care about it. And I have never been interested in the beignets. We've been to Disneyland and they have them. I've heard a million times about going to get the beignets. I've just never cared, but we were right there.
Yeah.
So we walked over one afternoon and we got a lot of beignets because we wanted to try the ones that, okay, so back up. You go to Scat Cat's Club Cafe. Mm-hmm. There's also something called Scat Cat's Club Lounge, which is like a sit down jazz music eatery. Can you get food there? You get like food and drinks, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
You went there. You don't remember?
I don't remember if there were food or drinks. I would
there's drinks.
I would imagine.
I know you can get beignets there, so I don't know if there's other food. We have no idea. But the cafe part, you just walk up. It's just a counter. There's a long line. There was a line when we were there and we waited for a while and it was not long compared to what it sometimes is.
No, yeah, we were lucky.
Yeah, so you just walk up and order. It's a very small menu. You can get like 3 beignets, 6 beignets. You pick from chocolate or caramel dipping sauce.
Yep.
And we got a set of 3, and we didn't even eat them all because they're big. And we also got the ones that you infuse with
Bailey's Irish cream.
Right.
Yeah.
Those were fine.
Yeah. Yep.
It tastes exactly what it sounds like. It tastes like you put a shot of Bailey's into a beignet and bit into it.
And like you'd think that that sounds awesome on paper, and like I think it probably translates to the experience. But I remember my first bite, it was just like just all the Bailey's shot into my mouth.
Yeah,
it was like okay.
Yeah, it's more of like a novelty than anything else.
Yeah,
the Mickey beignets were the regular
delicious.
beignets are Mickey shaped. Those were much better.
Yes,
they're all served warm. If you think you're gonna go and get them and like go back to your room, don't eat them right away. You're gonna make a mess. We had a mess.
Yep.
There's a little bit of seating in the cafe. There's a little bit. It's hot in there though because it's so busy. And then there's more seating, open air right outside, which is where we sat. There's a bathroom right there so you can wash up. Highly suggested. I can't believe how much I liked them for not caring about fried dough.
Very, very good.
Yeah, they were excellent.
For somebody who loves fried dough, really, those were excellent. Excellent.
Let's quickly do a final like verdict.
Uh-huh.
I have 2 very fast corrections and then we'll wrap up.
All right.
Okay. What'd you think? Give me your final thoughts about it.
Considering the room and everything that we talked about, if I had to give a letter grade where it's just hard D and hard F and then pluses and minuses for A through C.
So specific.
I had a little rubric. I would give the entire resort a B-. I think that
okay.
I think that it looked great. The vibe was awesome walking around. There were things in the room that I wished were better or not there at all. But overall, especially if you can nab a deal, this is a great Disney resort to stay at.
Yeah. Can I give my final thoughts?
No.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
I really liked it. I liked it more than I remembered liking it when I was younger, and I liked it then. It's very pretty. It's very peaceful. Having the French Quarter is nice. It's always nice to spread out at your resort and go somewhere close by that offers you a little bit different but is convenient to get to. I was super happy with all the offerings. I was very happy with the room. It was a simple room, but it was clean. I like most Disney rooms are. I liked it. I would totally stay there again if the price was right.
What's your letter grade, though?
My letter grade is a B-. Is that what yours was?
Yeah. Oh, you matched
me.
Me.
Yeah, really, really liked it. This was one of our favorite Disney trips. This was a shorty. We were there for 5 full days, which is less than we're usually there for. Mm-hmm. This was our annual pass is expiring in May trip, so we just felt like we needed one more trip to use it up. We had a great time. We'll talk about the 3 levels of resorts in a future podcast, and we're also going to talk about in a future podcast how we approached this trip because it was much different than any other trip, much calmer, super enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
Really fast.
Uh-huh.
2 corrections from past episodes. We've said a few times you can travel to any Disney resort if you take Disney transportation, like if you want a resort hop. That is not always true. In the past, you could always go if you got on Disney transportation. You could get on a Disney bus at Disney Springs and go to any resort. Sometimes when it's very busy, they are now checking to see if you're staying at the resort. So even if you're not driving there, you cannot necessarily always go.
Sure.
It's worth a shot, but I would feel bad if anybody took our advice and then the first time they tried, they weren't allowed to. More times than not, it works. But I think especially around holidays and stuff, they're more strict about visitors. We mentioned Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And we were discussing, you thought there were 4 people. I thought there were 8.
Yep.
There are 6.
Oh.
There's 6 people to a section. The roles are pilots, gunners, and engineers with 2 people to each role. That was driving me crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm just waking up. I just fell asleep when you were talking about that.
Hey, I know. You don't like that ride. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, you were wrong.
I know.
And now I've corrected
so were you.
I know. I was wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, but I corrected you.
Yeah, so you win.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Be sure to check out DisneyForCouples.com. We have a lot more content that's just for Disney couples. And go shopping at MagicalStickerShop.com or Magical Sticker Store on Etsy. You can find all of those links in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to stay young at heart like Walt would want.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.